Oh, main gun destroyed. Will the motor half track actually take it out? Um, it's moving very, very slow. Oh, and it does take it out. Wow, that sucks for the American player. So nice play there by the Panzer Elite player. It does manage to take it out, and 14 infantry kills and 1 vehicle kill for that half track. So definitely paying for itself. That is, like I said, the only good thing going for him, and even better than he thought. Probably didn't expect it to be the key killer there. But anyway, we do have the rifle squads now out on the field. This very angry rifle squads that killed their T-17. And oh, and another strafing run. Unfortunately, that last squad over there walked into the line of fire as well. So he's forced to retreat. Luckily, it didn't do as much damage as I expected. I just remember 2.6 strafing runs would just decimate squads. But that was nerfed in the beta. So here we go, another engagement. Armored cars are going to probably mop this up very easily. They do take damage from the bars, but they're just so strong. And the last T-17 armored car is coming out here to shoo away the armored cars. How much damage do they do? They're not doing that much damage to it. So I learned something today. Panzer Elite armored cars don't do that much to the T-17. So really, he can bait this T-17 towards these AT half tracks actually. And he does realize that, so he pulls it back. Needs to be very, very careful with this, because that's the key to holding this line so far. It's been the key, unless he gets a lot of riflemen with bars out, which he has, and his airborne gets recoilless rifles, but that is not the case at the moment. And you just don't want to lose vehicles in the first place anyway. So I believe that medic bunker has been paying for itself, as it has reset its bar. And over time, that will give him the rifle squads he will need, as I was talking about earlier. So he did bring out a martyr, actually. Maybe those T-17s were just giving him too much when there's really only one on the field. I'm not sure if it can outrange the US anti-tank gun, but that would be still pretty hard, because if it does outrange it, it probably needs to have something scout ahead for it. And we do have the armored cars from the right side. They're all, you can see he's getting into position for a flank here, and kind of a good positioning for an attack. Really, 2 squads moving in from the left, and 3 Panzer Elite squads supported by 2 armored cars coming in from the right here. Where are those half tracks? He loses 1 armored car to a US AT gun. Where are those AT half tracks from the Panzer Elite player? They are not here to counter that T-17. I believe our American player does realize that, hiding behind the building, as the T-17 armored cars are over here to the left of it. And man, just getting torn up, just overrunning our Panzer Elite player here. May lose 2 half tracks here, very low on health, the motor half track and the AT half track excuse me. Armored car with full health comes in here to shoo away the rifle squads, but it only can do so much. Oh, and we have the 2 Panzer Elite squads that were coming in from the left doing a flank now. I do not agree with that, with the sheer amount of firepower here. Really, I think the best decision there was to either safely tuck them away or do a little harassment. Yeah, you won the could have just done, say, hey, yeah, the US player won the fight in the front, but I am continuing to cap your left side here, so that will force the US player to pull back some of his units. And then when you're done reinforcing, you come back into the middle, and less units will be in the middle, and will give you a better chance to win that main fight. But he did not do that. They are all reinforcing and repairing in his base. So actually, no units are on the field right now for the Panzer Elite squad. Just the martyr sticking outside the base, but that's just about it. And actually, the US player retreats everything, knowing the Panzer Elite player will not be coming out onto the field just yet. And before that next fight comes, he's like, okay, I'm going to retreat all my units. I'm going to reinforce all of them. I do have map control for the most part. It looks a little bit more even, but I have been winning that middle fight. And just retreat all my squads, throw them back into the field. The Panzer Elite player won't know, because he's not coming out anytime soon. And then fight him on a more even fight. And the Panzer Elite player kind of looking around saying, there's nothing out here, there's nothing out here. US player needs to get his butt into gear and start bringing his squads out here, as the Panzer Elite is setting up pretty good position here, letting his half tracks, his motor half track, stick out a little bit further into the map. And he's kind of doing the same thing. 2 Panzer Elite squads going into the left, and then 3 coming into the right, supported by his half-tracks and armored cars. So here we go. We have a big push, big engagement really between these two players. The armored car T-17 doing once again, and the strafing run unfortunately turns this fight around on a dime. Easy peasy. And it is 150 munitions, but is well spent here. Has been turning fights around the mortar half-track. Unfortunately, if it was just a few seconds earlier, would have a sweet kills there, but it was too late, and now needs to fall back. Hopefully falls back. And there it goes, starting to fall back. The armored car is all the half-tracks are starting to retreat, so you will not lose anything. And because he reinforced and retreated after that last fight, really started to pay for itself off. Now the airborne have recoilless rifles. The two rifle squads and the engineer squad are just chasing down this martyr. Hopefully this armored car here in the back can at least do some damage into the rear. It is getting repaired by all these squads here, and we do have Luftwaffe for our Panzer Elite player. So really, airborne versus airborne right now. Lots of fighting in the middle. I can't tell who's going to win, so the Panzer Elite's starting to edge out because he didn't reinforce. And really long drawn out fight. Actually deciding to retreat so he doesn't win the fight once again. Even when he reinforced, came out of his base. The damaged riflemen are a gimped army really. Still held the line for him, and the VPs are now 353 to 346. And I forgot to do a time synchronization. I am at 26 minutes 52, 53, 54, 55, and it looks like our Panzer Elite player during all that time actually has a 3 cap on our US player, so he was still keeping up on his capping power. Even though you're losing fights, you still want to keep up on your capping. Try to find that window where you can cap it. When the game starts to carry on into the mid and late game, it gets harder and harder because the army size for both players gets so big and they're able to spread their units out further, or you just need units in the middle to fight. And let's see, the map control really still favoring the US just a little bit. Really, the whole game the US player has been favored for the most part. Panzer Elite still hanging on, hasn't had too many significant losses, losing an armored car or two here and there, but not too huge as in squads and whatnot. And looks like our Panzer Elite player is going to do a push to the right. A martyr needs to be careful here because it is maybe like few hits, one hit or 2 hits from an AT gun will take it out. There is an AT gun back here, but it is out of position at the moment. And the armored car is still doing its thing here, doing any harassment. Any squads that want to do anything unsupported will meet that T-17 armored car, and we'll have to retreat. So these AT half-tracks need to stick with this infantry to really do any serious push. And we have quite the engagement here. Rifle squads, 2 MP44s. Can they take it on? No, they cannot. And actually isolating these 2 squads from the main infantry, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Unless he's just trying to bait these squads further and further away from the main force and allow his infantry over here to the right to move up. And that kind of looks like what he's doing, but after he does that, he's just going to swing his men back over here, roll these squads as well because they were all isolated from each other. Oh no, another strafing run. Really, so he could have won that fight actually without a strafing run, but decides to use it anyway, forces all the squads to retreat, and looks like he just wants to get those infantry out of there so he can focus down these half-tracks. An armored car does have damaged engines. Oh no, it gets taken out by the AT gun, so unfortunately that's about the 2nd or 3rd armored car down for our Panzer Elite player, and it's starting to snowball. Because they're so strong and they cost resources. Of course, anything that can cost resources. Oh no, using the martyr, bodies flying around, and these vehicles aren't really working out for him. As I said, when your opponent goes airborne and doesn't really invest much on tanks or half-tracks, really you just need to go anti-infantry because that counters all. That counters his airborne and indirectly counters is airborne or any AT guns or AT anti-tank special units, because if you don't have any tanks or vehicles, where are they going to shoot? Nothing. Oh no, another strafing run taking out the one squad and damaging another, pinning one and taking out 2 guys. So unfortunately, no capping there for our Panzer Elite player, and is really stressing there between those strafing rounds. There's really nothing you can do against them because it just kind of pop out of nowhere. They're so quick, you can't retreat. There's no real counter to them. That's kind of one of the issues with the strafing run because it did get nerfed during the beta. And props to our Panzer Elite player for hanging on here, not trying to put down the US player at all, as he's playing a very hard game as well. But I'd say our Panzer Elite is underpowered, so they got a little bit tougher fight on their hands here. And we have another push once again. The armored car overextending itself a little bit, needs to back up, does pop the extra speed. Oh no, gets picked off by that rifle squad over on the left side, so unfortunately loses his another armored car. And let's see if he builds anymore. I don't think he will, as he's just been losing so much. And the AT guns as well just outrange it, and unfortunately gonna have to retreat once again, just getting outgunned by all these bars over here, and with a few veterancy. Actually only one has a veterancy, and the airborne itself has veterancy as well. So we have a little engagement over here in the middle, and we actually have a flak. Not sure what that's going to counter. I guess I'll get rid of his T-17 armored cars for sure, but that's quite the investment against that. As you can see, it's always infantry, and flak once again will not do anything against this infantry. So we can simply run over the AT half track. So 2 units here that are practically useless against all this. And here comes the squads that he needs, these infantry squads to take on this rifle squad, and it looks like the US player will lose this fight. Will we see another strafing run? I don't know his munition count, but it doesn't look like it. Would have been a nice spot up here in the north. But he, now finally the Panzer Elite player can breathe a little bit, and hopefully he can capitalize on this, start capping the middle, and just start capping really. Capping the VPs. VPs are 335, 324, pretty even so far, even though our US player has been winning most of these fights. These rifle squad over here not going to push up yet, just waiting for his reinforcements at the moment. They are getting reinforced there. There is one rifle squad coming out right now, but it's still not enough to take on all these squads. But he's in green cover, so he can save for quite a bit. But there is a half track out, so don't want to stay still for too long. And those were grenades going off, but he still managed to push the Panzer Elite player back. Actually, a full force retreat. Not sure why. If anything, just retreat your damaged squads and kind of send your full health squads to harass or whatnot. But I don't know. He has managed to push the US player back a little bit, as right now he has quite a bit of squads. Keeping that half track alive has been helping him so much. It now has 32 kills, including that one vehicle kill earlier in the game. Has a damaged engine, so you don't want to be too cocky with it, but he's probably coming out here right now to repair that and repair his AT half track as well. I think our US player's been losing quite a bit of rifle squads because he only has 3 rifle squads right now and an airborne squad, and then a cute little engineer squad that does not have the flamethrower upgrade. And that's definitely going to hurt him because the Panzer Elite player has a crap ton of squads and a Ketten as well. So this Ketten is actually a huge deal because it will be able to ninja cap, and it's not a fighting unit, so it can go happily cap. And then these if he has to pull a rifle squad off to go prevent that, then that's less units for the middle fight, especially when you're down this low. So he did bring another T-17 out, but he needs to be really, really careful because this flak has such a far range and will probably one-shot it, if not two-shot that armored car. So he's probably going to keep it onto the right side to prevent any type of ninja capping, and the left side as well, because you're hiding behind the buildings like he is doing it right here, and also hiding behind the hedgerow over here on the left side away from that flak. And oh no, we have an AT half track going to take on this armored car for sure. Probably going to immobilize it, and yes, he does immobilize it. So it's immobilized for the pickings. There's more fighting in the middle. I did not realize 2 rifle squads against 3 Panzer Elite squads. The airborne squad not too great against infantry, like I said earlier. Oh no, and the strafing one once again turning this fight around, so really paying for itself and winning a ton of fights. You can see all these butterfly mines, when I used to call them teller mines, all these butterfly mines over here really a great spot from our Panzer Elite player. If any vehicles want to go through there, they're going to take a lot of damage, or any squads really will definitely run into a few mines to try and cap that VP. And oh no, the half track's actually going to go down, so the armored car barely surviving with 1/4 health. Oh, just, yeah, gonna survive. Is stuck, however, stuck in a safe place at least behind this building, so that Flak cannot take it out. It would be really cool if that Flak could like shoot through the building and take out the armored car, but I guess not balance or whatever. We'd have a Flak Panzer out, so that's definitely what he needs against the heavy infantry from our US player. Yes, it can be countered by airborne, but it's so strong against infantry, and our Panzer Elite player has so much infantry himself, he can support it very, very well. And it's going to be a really tough time for our US player. He's starting to snowball backwards, losing map control. Panzer Elite player is hung on so far, and it is paying for itself. You can see this Ketten doing quite a bit of scouting to see, okay, where are his units at? Where should I not place my vehicles, and where should I place my vehicles? And you can see this AT gun, where's that at? Taking a shot at this Flak Panzer. One more shot will take it out. Only has 1 kill, so definitely did not pay for itself. Main gun destroyed. Will he get out of there in time? Yes, he does. Manages to get out of the range, but he needs to continue bringing it back, because if he loses this fight, all these units will run that unit over, and he's not. He's stopped it because he's so focused onto the middle fight. And we see a strafing gun. Yes, we do. Oh no, pinning all these squads, and actually the plane going down as well. You can see that. That is so awesome. But it did do the damage before it went down, and really these half tracks need to move back. As I said earlier, continue to move back, and they are not just yet. This is the motor half track that has 32 kills, the hero motor half track, and the unfortunate Flak Panzer that probably will be taken out, that only got 1 kill, so definitely an unfortunate loss right there from that AT gun. And now the riflemen are going to mount that up. The Flak here going to do quite a bit of shots, but unfortunately there are no squads on that end. Once again, he's going to run it over, now losing the Flak. Do we have any squads coming out? Yes, we do, but are they going to get out here in time to save this Flak that really has, oh, actually has 14 infantry kills. So my mistake, actually this not too bad against the infantry. I still wouldn't have built it myself, but I'm not the best Panzer Elite player. And he does hold the line and manages to hold that Flak, which did take out that plane earlier. That's what took it out. I was kind of wondering what that was. And pushes the US player back, and the US player did not manage to cap anything, kind of overextending himself. Really, I think it would be in his best interest to cap the middle and start establishing a defensive position, or he just kind of wanted to take out that Flak for sure. Saw the opportunity and thought he had it, but unfortunately he almost did, but wasn't just there quite yet, and actually has quite a bit of rifle squads out now. I wonder if that was from the medic bunker. I believe so. I haven't really been keeping an eye on it, as he has 2 medic bunkers here in the middle. I don't really see anything else, and the hedgerow is gone now, so it is available to fire. Actually, the Flak, that's what it was doing, sniping this hedgerow, taking it out, and now sniping the medic bunker from a far, far distance across the map. A very, very nice play from our Panzer Elite player. That's going to be kind of annoying for the US player. And now we see quite a bit to push here. Do we see any squads out? Quite a few rifle squads over here. 1 airborne squad, not going to do, really just going to tickle these Panzer Grenadier squads. So he does pull them back to the support of these 2 rifle squads. What squads do we have coming out here? And we do have more rifle squads. 3 rifle squads coming out here. 2 with veterancy, 1 with double veterancy. So it's going to be quite the fight here in the middle. Can the mortar half track do the damage it needs to do to save these guys? Or will a strafing run come in? We will see here in the next few minutes. And it doesn't look like it just yet. It's going to be quite a long fight here. Oh, there it is. The half track winning the fight for these Panzer Elite squads. Actually, incendiary, whatever it's called, incendiary mortar coming down, which does burn the ground and damages all these squads, so that he is forced to retreat. And actually, we'll take out this AT gun that has killed 2 vehicles, and as a bonus, 2 infantry. So finally taking that thing out, and which really has been keeping his squads at bay. And I heard a plane. Oh, and it went down over here, but I don't think it did any damage. the flak really paying for itself. 17 infantry kills and taking out that plane. You can see the damage, the crashed plane right there, and really I don't see it doing much. So maybe that's why he built it, to counter that. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure how reliable the flak is. Like how fast can it take out that plane? If anybody knows, like if the plane comes in from the bottom of the map and your flak is at the top, is it a slower time to take it out, or if it spawns right next to the flak,